welcome back to another video. So today, as you can see, I'm driving something some of you may know what it is and some may not, but it is a car that is new to me, but it's far from new. I mean, it's like 29 years old. So what I'm driving is a 94 Honda Civic Del Sol. I just got it a day or so ago, two days ago, and I love it. And it's just gonna be a daily for a while, but there's something like pretty cool about the car, and you know, I thought that's why I kind of give it a little introduction for you guys and then show you what the plan is. So I bought the car from the original owner. She bought it back in '93 in St. Louis, Missouri, and she's had it all this time. She took really good care of it, and then I was lucky enough to buy it. The car has 186,000 miles, regular, you know, stock single cam D15 B7. I guess I'm not going fast enough for these people. And it's a 5-speed, and it slips like the clutch gets a clutch. But this lady just, you know, wants to meet with me, so I'll get out of the way with the slip. But yeah, the window track on the driver's side is a little messed up, and there's not much else really. I mean, it needs like tie rods, ball joints and stuff, like the front's wore out. Didn't pass inspection, I believe, for that reason. But other than that, it's a pretty decent car for what it is. The interior is really nice for its age, and the outside's not bad. A little bit of work on the quarters, and the back bumper has a hole in it, and there's like little tiny stuff along the way. But I'm gonna try to get the body work done, get the car painted, and then go from there to make it quick and do what I want with it. But today I am going to be pulling the trans out because, like I said, it needs a clutch. So I'm going to pull the trans, put a clutch in it, and probably adjust the valves because they're a little clickety clackety up there. But yeah, I figured I'll show you guys what it's like with the slip, and then we're going to go yank this trans out. So let's do it. So probably hard to see from there, but if I ease in it, it's fine. If I give it too much, it slips, right? And it's worse. So you gotta baby it, ease into it. It's annoying. So we're gonna change that, and then we're gonna enjoy the end result. Give you guys a little closer look. Like I said, I downshift to fourth, downshift to third, and then I can get it to catch. So yeah, it just needs some love. And as you can see, the wheel's crooked. I took it on and off as many times, you know, probably like 4 in a row, and there's just nothing I could do. Like, it's, you know, the front end is so out of whack that I was tired of fighting it. So when I get the new inner and outer tie rods and everything, I'll set the wheel straight, do it that way. And once I get it up off the ground, I'll show you guys just how bad the front end is, because it's wonky. But it's been sitting for 4 to 6 months, maybe a little longer, that I don't know of. But I mean, things are old. Like, she didn't drive it much towards the end, and she had a new car. And then once it failed inspection, from what I understand, she didn't want to put any more money into it. So that's okay, because I do. But yeah, let's get this thing in the tent, tear it apart, and see you guys there. All right, guys, so we're in the tent here. I got the car up on jack stands. I had to show you guys this. This is ridiculous. So I got the car up, and you know, all 4 wheels are suspended, obviously, whatever. It's nice and clean. I'm gonna drop a picture when I first got it, so you guys could see just how dirty this was. The hood was really bad too, which could be better. But it was like really dirty. So yeah, now it looks much better, nice and clean. But check this out. I've never seen nothing like this in my entire life. That is hilarious. I guess somebody didn't want their catalytic converter getting stolen, but I've never seen nothing like it. So that is the, you know, avoid a crackhead 10,000, I guess. I don't know. That's nuts. But yeah, I'm not going to do like a how-to, you know, like how to replace your clutch in your single cam or whatever. It's been done a lot. But I did just want to make a couple key points to help, you know, the people that actually watch. I kind of break it down in sections. So I look at it as like you got your mounts, and you have the nonsense, and then you got axles and shift linkage, right? That's pretty much your 4 main points. So I start with just clearing the top, get most of the nonsense out of the way that I can, such as the air box. Sometimes I pull a distributor just because it makes it easier. You got your speed sensor plug and reverse light, the clutch sleeve, that stuff. That's all the nonsense, right? Then you pull your axles out, bang, bang. Your shift linkage is the 112 and the pin, which for single cam it's a little bit bigger bolt, I think, might be a 14. But after you get the linkage out, the axles out, and the nonsense, then it's just one mount, you know, the front, well, 2 mounts, the top and the front, the T-bracket, my bad, and the bell housing bolts. So I just break it down that way. It's like 4 or 5 steps, you know what I mean? And I just do the same system every time. And usually, like, this has every single thing from the factory, so it might take me like 45 to an hour, but usually if it's normal and everything's already been messed with once, usually I can have a trans out in like 35 minutes. It's not that hard. It's pretty simple. They're all the same, so once you get in that routine, it's just bang, bang, bang. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get right to it. Show you guys, you know, a bit of it sped up, whatever, but like I said, it's not going to be a full how-to thing, and, you know, if you guys have any specific questions, just let me know in the comments, and we'll get to that in the next video. So just real quick, guys, I want to give you a little idea here of, you know, what this is. It's so bad in the front end. So if you can see, it's all play in that inner tie rod. And also when I do that, if you look up at that, the upper ball joint here, there's just a tiny bit of movement in there, but not as bad as, you know, that inner tie rod. That thing is just, she no good. It's not terrible, you know, I mean, well, that inner tie rod is terrible, but overall it's okay. Makes a little noise whenever the wheel ain't straight, but it doesn't really shake or vibrate or bounce down the road, so surprised about that. But either way, that's next. I don't really drive the car far much at all, and I did break a stud pulling these wheels off, so they'll get done as well. But yeah, we're focused on the trans today, so let's keep at it. Well, as you saw, she's out. I'll tell you what, a lot of these bolts were much harder to get out than I'm used to. I'm not going to go as far as saying, like, this is original stuff. I doubt she made it 30 years without having the clutch replaced. But I do believe she got most of her work done at the dealer. And if not, I mean, I'm sure they were, you know, reputable shops. But everything was really tight. So it's either they put it back super tight, or it's been a long time since they've been off, or a mixture of both. But either way, it's out now, and that's all that matters. And I'll give you guys a little peek at the clutch in there. I don't know You know, I have no idea of how old that is. Try to get that to focus. I don't know. All the bolts were pretty tight. The dowel pins were pretty well on there. But yeah, that's about it that I can think of. I am going to, you know, take the clutch bolts out, get the clutch off. And I was thinking about this as well. You know, I have a clutch for the car, right? I got some eBay stage 17, like, I don't know, red face, you know, the XTD, the usual stuff. But the throwout bearing doesn't make a noise. And even if it did, I'd probably leave it because, well, it depends how big the noise is. But I don't plan on running this forever. And I could probably get, like, a solid couple years out of this eBay, you know, stage 35 clutch. So I don't need a throwout bearing. I'll take a look at the pilot pushing, but I doubt I need one of them. So it's just like pop the clutch on and go. Now, there was a couple times where me and my girlfriend were messing around and it was slipping so bad, like struggling to go in gear. So I'd assume the flywheel got hot. And with that being the case, I'm going to change the flywheel because I have one with the stage 92 clutch. But I don't need to. You know what I mean? Like, so you guys can roast me in the comments like, oh, you're wasting your time to trans out. Like, doesn't matter. I'll take this trans out every day. Like, we did that once before, you know, with the EG. But anyway, this tran's going in there with a stage, you know, 114 clutch. And it's going to work. And I'm going to do burnouts. And I'm going to beat on it. And it's going to be fine. So it doesn't matter, you know. But yeah, you guys, as you see how I did it, I don't know if you guys agree. That's how I do it, you know, break it up into sections. I don't think I really didn't have to take the starter out, but I wasn't really like thinking. I just did it. But it's easier. It's out of the way, whatever. But yeah, one bolt at a time, just kind of go after it. It's not that hard, and they're not really heavy. Just pull them out, put them down, pick them back up, slide them back in. Going back in can be harder to get it lined up, but you know, it's everyone's different, and some are easy, some are hard. I've pressed some together with a porter power. You know, we've done some stuff. So yeah, you know, I'm gonna go get that clutch off and go grab the one from the basement, and then we'll go from there. Here we are. As you can see, there's a bit of discoloration in there from the heat. Here's the factory clutch. Here's my stage 75, baby. And my new flywheel, which does not look so new. It sat in the 83, and then it sat in the EG, then it sat in here, then it went in my basement. So it got a little rusty, but that's okay. So now we got that, you know, 6-puck all stage spring, you know, fanciness, you know. But anyway. This thing, boy, whoo, she was whooped. Yeah, she was cooked. But either way, we got the new stuff. I might clean this up with a Brillo pad. You know, I got a little, what's that? I forget what my dad used to call it. With it, emery cloth. There you go. Yeah, but either way, I might clean that up just because. But I mean, one push of the clutch, it'll just rub that right on off of there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff back on, put the trans back in, and we shall get to rolling, right? Let's do it. Toolbox looks kind of cool. You know, it looks all fancy with the stickers and all that. But it's not very fancy. I got the toolbox cheap because it was all dented and smashed on the sides, but I didn't care. But it was new when I got it. But, you know, the Harbor Freight kit is amazing. You know, it's just very helpful to have. And then I've been buying a lot of Icon stuff. But anyway, the point of what I'm showing you is you always got to keep one of these, you know, very helpful on the unit, especially if it would fit. Is this not the right one? Oh no, I don't know what this is from then. Oh boy, I might be screwed, guys. Alright, so I know I have another one, and it was like broken. The top half was broken. So let me find that, because that's an issue. I don't know what this is from. I don't have a clue what that's from. Acura 78. I don't know what that is. Alright, yeah, well, I'm salty. Let me look for the right one. Oh. There we go. Look at that. This isn't one I remember, though. The one we have is broken. So this one says Honda 59. But either way, yeah, you gotta keep those, you know. Out of all the single cam trans that we had, I'm surprised that I never decided to take a piece of an input shaft and cut it and make my own and have it, but you know, we always had the AutoZone chunk. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys that little hint of knowledge. Now we're good to roll. And the transmission is back in. I will say I should have put some grease on the input shaft and could even snuck it on the dowels, but I didn't really think about it and I was kind of in a rush. And it definitely fault me going back in a bit, but I cheated and I had the dowel pins in and I was in just a little bit, so I used bolts to run it the rest of the way in. But I was determining my plan on that depending on how smooth they went in, and they went in nice and easy. I should have said this from the jump, like obviously, pretty common sense, you take the battery terminal off because your starter wire here. I didn't, it sparked once or twice, it is what it is. I didn't feel like it doesn't matter. I'll buy a fuse if it pops, what do you want to do? But yeah, I just threw the starter back in real quick. And yeah, I'm going to start buttoning up the rest, pop the outs back in, get all the nonsense back together, and yeah, then we're going to give it a test drive. But, because it's already dark, probably get you guys in the morning, you know, give you a little show what it does and how it is. But yeah. Simple deal, man. Let's get it. Alright guys, so it's 2 days later. Yesterday I got done work late and I didn't have a chance to film it, but I did test it, and unfortunately the clutch wasn't working properly, like going into gear, but it drove okay. It just chattered quite a bit. Like it was, you could tell something wasn't working right, but I wasn't dead set on it being the clutch. Like I wasn't sure. I did question if I maybe put it on backwards, like I didn't know if it had a flywheel side or not. But I didn't see anything, and it didn't say anything, but I didn't even Google it. But either way, yesterday after that, I ended up changing the sleeve and the master cylinder with ones I had, so they're used, but they work. But like now, it's going into gear, right? Like it wouldn't do that before. Like it wouldn't do that at all. But yesterday I drove it for like 15-20 minutes, and then it started giving me a problem going into gear, and the pedal's like still not what I'd like out of a pedal, you know what I mean? So whether the sleeve and master, one or the other I put in there, isn't great or whatever, I don't know yet, but it's working enough. So give you guys a little look at it not slipping anymore, and then we'll go from there. So like I said, it's working a little bit better, but it's still not right, but it'll work, you know, until further notice. When I get it, you know, a little more time, I'll figure it out. But I just don't have to pull the trans back out yet. I'd rather not, you know. I know I was joking around like, oh, I'll take it out every night. Like, no, I won't. Like, I don't want to do that. But I mean, if I had to, I would take it back out. But I don't want to deal with that. But like I said, I'm in third now, and I can like lay into it a little bit, no slip. So that's, of course, that's all that really matters. Yeah, it's just like really short lived. I don't know how to explain it. But either way, that's gonna, you know, be about it for this video. You know, I got to get the clutch done is most important. And I can't really think of anything else. Immediately, I guess the next video you guys will be seeing is Obi's Integra. You know, we have some interesting updates about that thing compared to where it left off. You know, we kind of got busy and just didn't film much there, but that'll be coming up next within a couple days or so. But it might spin a little bit, but I'll give you a little idea of the clutch working properly. Now, the way that it doesn't let me shift at a high RPM, that goes, to me, it kind of showing that the clutch ain't working right either. But yeah, I don't know. It's iffy, but we'll get it right. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Do what you do, subscribe.